It is my absolute pleasure, honor, privilege to be in a relationship with someone that I have known for the past 8 years or nine, I think. And this person is someone that I hold so very dear. She has seen me through my hills and my valleys. She is a person that has been my coach and mentor and friend and sister and mother and prophet. Like she's all we call her A to Z. Whatever initial you want to put before her name, it's A to Z. But I think especially is the fact that just as when I was acknowledging her in the book, let me read it out before her bio video plays. I said to my spiritual mother, Debola Deji-Kurumi, thank you for covering me without spoiling me, for training me without breaking me, and for loving me through it all. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce who we all fondly know as DDK. Her bio video is going to go up now.
He is a polymath, best-selling author, keynote speaker, public policy advisor, corporate trainer, and transformational coach for visionary leaders. Through her work of coaching, consulting, and capacity building, Debola deploys her extraordinary gift of unlocking potential in people, institutions, and nations. She sits over a group of companies as well as non-denominational ministries, including Immerse Coaching Company, a global personal transformation coaching practice, Ideation Hub Africa, a public policy and impact advisory firm, Kingdom Leaders Global Alliance, and Firebrand Movement, both faith-based organizations. Debola is a certified visionary leadership coach by the Oleg Konovalov Global Coaching Certification, a Gallup certified strengths coach, a certified masteries practitioner by the International Association of Coaching USA, and renowned for her archetypical coaching frameworks as well as original assessments. A highly sought corporate trainer for multinational corporations, SMEs, development agencies, and governments. Debola has delivered executive coaching, team building retreats, and senior leadership training for organizations, including Philips Consulting, the Lagos State government, amongst others. Debola has been severally recognized for her outstanding leadership impact with her transformational work featured on TV, international news, and media. She has received several awards, including the 2018 Mandela Washington Fellow by U.S. Government, ABC Africa's 50 Most Impactful Voices 2023, Peak Performing Woman of the Year 2023, Mentor of the Year 2023, and Top 5 Nigerian Women Empowering Women 2024, amongst others. DDK, as she is fondly called, is an author of 26 books to date and has spoken across 3 continents to emerging and established leaders. Over the last decade, she has worked with corporate leaders, C-suite executives, ministry gifts, high-growth visionaries, and purpose-driven individuals serious about building institutions, amplifying influence, and scaling impact without compromising their integrity and faith. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Debola Deji-Kurumi.
Hello, everyone. I'm dearly pleased to be here, and I am starting off just truly celebrating my darling Fumi Ayowole for this groundbreaking work. I am not in a typical location, I'm not at home, but I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be able to be a part of the conversation this evening. It's truly a global gathering where we are using the power of healing to fuel legacy. I believe that theme itself is an answer for some of us, but let us start off by thanking Fumi, catching a vision, becoming inspired enough to move in the direction of that vision. And here we all are today at the beginning of something that I believe is beyond just the Soul Reset Summit, but is also spiraling into even more opportunities to create change, to create transformation, the kind that begins right on our inside before we take it out to the world. So congratulations, my darling TFA, and congratulations on your book as well. I can't wait to lay my hands on a physical copy because there's something about smelling the pages of a book. So 100%, I believe that this book is also going to become a curriculum that we can take to coaching experiences, take to international retreats, and even condense or cascade into resources for younger people in universities and in schools. So, yes, well done. So proud of you. And thank you for allowing me be a part of your most remarkable journey. So I'm going to start off this night just by getting a sense of what has happened in the room. Talk to me about one big highlight on your side from the summit that you're going to run with. I already started to read some things in the chat the moment I came in, and I said, okay, this has been heavy. I read a particular comment that deeply, deeply resonated with me. And it's interesting that it's sort of the central theme of what I want to share with you today. My time with you is rather short, but it's going to put in your hands what I believe could be a major contribution to all of the great insights you have learned today. And one of the things I read in the chats is the foundational insight I want to put in your hands. So it excited me when I saw it. And it was this statement that you can hold sorrow and hope in the same soul. I love that Folake has, okay, Temitayo Wonder says, your place of breaking can be your place of becoming. That is good. That is good stuff. Okay, talk to me. Rachel says, I'm not broken, I am becoming. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. Thank you, Rachel, and thank you, Temitayo, for the insights that are coming through. And I'm looking to read from a number of us as well. Okay? So share with me what you have happening on your side in terms of the insights that you've picked from being here at the conference. And I'm going to be reading those. Okay, let me see. I'm looking for more. There is help backstage. Okay, I think there's got to be context to that. I don't easily understand it because I didn't listen to the full gist, but that is great. Healing is a journey, it's a process. I love it. The version of you whose soul is healed is bolder, has clarity, and is unafraid to fulfill purpose. I love it. Cracks are not the end, they are where the light gets in. That is powerful. Go back to your anchors of identity, go back to your anchors of community, and go back to your anchors of routines. Wow. Finding your place helps others find theirs too. Dysfunction, no matter how familiar, is still dysfunction. Wow. Look at the backstage. There's help there. Soul sparks bathe my soul. Managing your moment of forgetting your lines. Go backstage. Even through heartbreak, I remain whole through Christ who strengthens me. Healing is a river that is always flowing. Leadership thrives through love. The saddest story is not the darkness in our world, but the many lights that have refused to shine. Oh my God, like you've got so much juice going on this call tonight. So many great insights have surely happened at the summit. And I believe that it already now lays a strong foundation for the contribution I will be making at the Soul Reset Summit. But before I get into the three insights that I'll put in your hands today and will become a part of your toolkit, the first thing I need us to know is that Fumi Ayowole is not merely curating an experience that she is a stranger to. She's not curating conversations that don't resonate with her lived experience. The reason you can be assured that there's healing on your path and there is, the opportunity for resurgence and new beginnings is because Fumi is not merely a gifted healer and a soul helper. She's actually also someone who has risen through her own cracks. The truth is, anyone who is on the other side of transformation, anyone whose life you look at and you say there's some value in there, it means that they've also reasoned through their own cracks. I have reasoned through my cracks. I believe that my future will still invite me to keep rising through difficult seasons, uncomfortable experiences. But the beauty, in particular for me, is that your coach, your author, your counselor, and our dear leader, Fumi Ayowole, has lived experiences that she has funneled through empowering principles, of faith, transformation, healing, and courageous beginnings that gives her the leverage to stand in the place she stands as the founder of the Virtual Soul Clinic, as well as the author of this latest breakthrough book, which I feel very privileged to have provided a forward for. Anyway, let's look into the 3 simple insights I would love to share with you around rising through the cracks and around maintaining healing as a lifestyle and not merely an experience. The first is the reckoning that you can heal yourself through your endeavors. In Proverbs chapter 18, verse 9, if you look at the Amplified Classic Translation, it talks about people who are unable to heal themselves through their endeavors. And because they're unable to do that, it's as though they were committing a suicide in their own lives. I hope that someone on the team will pull it up for us because it's such a remarkable scripture. This is one of the guiding lights of my own healing journey. And it has become a tool through which God has fast-tracked my path into significant degrees of wholeness and wholesomeness. Okay? So I'm hoping that we can put that scripture up, and then I'll be able to show you something really remarkable there. Okay? Proverbs 18, verse 9 in Amplified Classic Translation. He who is loose and slack in his work is brother to him who is a destroyer. And he who does not use his endeavors to heal himself is brother to him who commits suicide. If you don't use your endeavors to heal yourself, you will kill yourself. If you don't use your purpose to heal yourself, you will kill yourself. If you don't use your vision to heal yourself, you will kill yourself. If you don't use purposeful pursuits and a life of intentional direction to heal yourself, you will kill yourself. So says scripture. I think this is an extremely remarkable source of light for us to continue the conversation that we're already having at the summit. I want you not to think about healing only around the context you already know, the counseling, the therapy, the affirmations, right? The letting it out and getting an emotional release, the power of community, and the way that you create rhythms that allow you protect your soul through boundaries so that you're not negatively impacted by others. I want you to not only think about healing that way, but I want you to add a new layer on healing that is very strategic. I want you to begin to see healing also as the steps you intentionally take in the way that you create value, in the way that you create wealth, in the way that you create opportunities, and how the path of purpose can also be your path of soul prosperity. The path of purpose can be the path of soul prosperity. And if you're listening to me and saying, DDK, I'm not sure what I should be doing with my life, I'm not asking you to have it all figured out. I'm just asking you to resist the depression that comes from idleness. I'm asking you to resist the distress of the soul that comes from not putting your hands on the plow. Do you see this? So keep moving in the direction of purpose. Some of the people who sit with me and have become so distressed in their souls, what led to that point was there was such a lacuna, there was such a gap, there was such an idleness in their lives, there was such a complacence in their lives that made it very easy for them to be swallowed into their pain and swallowed by their struggles. Do you see? And this does not dishonor the journey that we all have to take in healing our souls through the other pathways we have been exploring today. And I loved it. I loved it when my sister Bralade was highlighting a particular part of Fumi's book where you're changing the tires in motion. I'd like to tell you this. If you think that your healing journey will naturally give you an opportunity to cancel out on all your responsibilities and just take yourself away like a monk for a year or two and cleanse your soul from all the hardship you faced, that is a less likely reality for the majority of us. If you see what I mean, it's not a very likely reality that you are able to pack up your bag and go away and just go to a scenic resort, and rebuild your whole life. You rebuild your life in the midst of the ruins. Isn't that powerful? You rebuild your life in the midst of the ruins, layer by layer, step by step, season after season. You start to find that the ruins are now giving way to a masterpiece. You see, it's right in the midst of what doesn't seem to be working that you work your way through a new design. It's right in the midst of default life as we have it that you create design life as you prefer it. Now, so to make this make sense, in case you're saying that's so idealistic, Didiki, I'm in so much pain. If you'd say to me that you are in great distress of soul, there are three things I will ask you to do first. Number one, I'm going to ask you to read a particular book. In the past, I had a particular book that I recommend, but now I'm going to be recommending read TFA's book. I'll say do three things. Read TFA's book. Right while you're reading that book, join a community that ensures you are meeting with a group of like-minded people, not discussing your pain, but discussing purpose, discussing progress, discussing performance every month. Number three, I'm going to ask you to go volunteer for something you are deeply passionate about. And I'll say, give it 90 days, give it 180 days, give it 365 days, and let's talk again. Almost 70% of the time, when I have given people this simple assignment of a book to read, a community to belong to, and a passion to steward, they've often come back with absolute stories of transformation. You see, so find what may be missing as far as this particular first level is concerned, and see what new doors you're able to open in your life. That's the first. The second that I would love to highlight for you, as far as rebuilding your life and creating a deliberate structure of healing, is the power of reinvention. The power of reinvention. I tell you what, anyone who is not stuck within their own boxes will build their lives into, breakthrough. The way to make sure your life is always moving toward a new breakthrough is to never box yourself. Don't box yourself into what you know. Don't box yourself into your past success. Don't box yourself into your past pain. You always need to know how to take a seeming brokenness and flip it into a breakthrough. It's either it breaks you or you break through. And the bridge between what could have broken you and how you break through is really about that power of reinvention. Reinvention is the way you convert your brokenness into breakthrough. And reinvention is really just about the recognition that your story is still being told, the recognition that you don't know everything about yourself. We have a desire for a sense of stability. And that's what makes us hunger and thirst to be able to create a bio, a profile, a story about ourselves and name ourselves in a certain way. This is who I am. We love it. But I have to tell you that your revelation of your true identity is evolutionary. What that means is if God told you everything about who you are from eternity to time, time can take it and you can take it. Your heart will burst at its seams if God poured all the revelation about who you are into one strip of time. So what you know about yourself now is only a measure of knowledge concerning your identity. There's so much more to you that you don't know. There's so much more to, and by the way, reinvention is not only about knowing that your story is still being written, it's also knowing that there are many pathways of performing your purpose. Many pathways of performing your purpose. Meaning that even if you feel called to women and you started out as a coach, you could also be a consultant, a wealth builder, an author, a healer. You could create a fund. You could write books. You could write policies. You could advocate through a role in government. There are multiple pathways through which you can perform your purpose. So don't let your sense of purpose box you. And it's happened to so many people. The greatest dishonor to your purpose and your revelation of your purpose is to become boxed into just one, possibility for what your life could become. Do you understand this? So don't let your sense of present revelation about your identity box you. Don't let your perspective about your purpose box you. And then don't let your pain box you. This is the most fascinating one. I'm going to leave you to go do a little study on the story of Lara John Momo. Go check her out again if you don't know her. Lara has a remarkable story of reinvention. First, she starts out as this church girl who loves the Lord so much, but got so badly, made many bad decisions, as a young Christian woman, and went on to have 13 abortions, right? From having 13 abortions, she started to raise her daughter and was learning so much from the experience that she began to teach. She began to share her story of the mistakes that she made as a young girl, as a young lady. So she started going to secondary schools, talking to young girls about how to stay chaste and how to be wise. She transitioned from talking to young girls and began talking to women about broken relationships and how to take care of their hearts and how to understand their, emotional trauma and trigger and heal from that. She transitioned from that and she found a bigger message the more she got healed and started to say, this story of abortions is not all there is to me. And she founded a media agency. She moved on to become a business strategist. Right now, she's founded a women's ministry. It may be that a women's ministry had always been what the enemy saw and targeted to destroy. And that's why she had a journey that seemed derailed. But through the power of reinvention, she continued to know more about herself, about her purpose, and about her pathways. So you must know your person in a very deep and growing way. You must know your purpose in a deep and growing way. And then you must know your pathways of possibilities. The other thing about reinvention is that revelation is not static. So because revelation is not static, reinvention can happen. The reason revelation is not static is because fellowship is not static. The more you grow your intimacy with God, the more he'll show you new things about you, right? So you can experience a reinvention even out of your pain. And wherever you are right now, whatever your story is, whatever your pain or your challenges look like, I want you to hold an image in your mind that continues to say, in the midst of adversity, I will advance. And I'm going to take this pain. You have to be able to see the end of that pain as the beginning of the new you. always see the end of a painful season as the beginning of a new you. The end of a painful season is always a door opener to a new you. So you have to hold that vision. But beyond holding that vision, reinvention is also a strategic action. What that means is if you've come through a difficult time, you have to know that your mindset could be affected, your esteem could be affected, and your vision could be affected. So by yourself, you have to sign up to an experience that upgrades your thinking. Pain is one of the most powerful reconstructors of personality. Pain can dim your vision, change your mindset, can steal your sense of identity, can weaken your conviction, and can send neural signals to your brain that tell you that you are in danger and you should either fight or be in flight. Do you understand this? So pain can actually, in fact, in brain science, pain can restructure the wiring of your brain. So when you've gone through a difficult time, you have to sign up to experiences and to teachers, as well as resources that upgrade your thinking again, upgrade your self-belief, upgrade your confidence, and upgrade your ability to work. Because pain dulls our energy to do work. Okay? That's how you keep rising. That's how you keep rising. Through every challenge, your message should be better fine-tuned, your mandate should be clearer, and your movement should be stronger. Okay? So don't forget that as a second key factor that you want to keep in mind as you go along on your journey. The third factor I will love to share with you today is to actually create a healing legacy. Create a healing legacy at the end of the journey, but in the journey, and it will fast track your transformation. To create a healing legacy is to look for a part of your own story that is healed and use it to support someone who is in the midst of the trenches as far as that area is concerned. You know why? No matter how broken you feel you are, no matter how broken the journey feels, there's always a part of who you are at any time in your life that tells a good story, that holds a great lesson, and that carries a gift of compassion and grace for others. So create a healing legacy at every phase of your life. So to bring it home, let's say you're having a difficult marriage. You might be having a better career. Let's say you're struggling with your business. You might be having an empowered spirituality. Let's even say your pain has affected your spirituality and affected your friendships and affected your self-belief. You might have a great family, parents who love you, siblings who care for you. You need to be able to bottle the wisdom that exists in a part of your life that is working and use it to nurture others. You need to be able to give something that you have while you have something else you're waiting for to someone who needs what you have. That's how you create a healing legacy. Why does this matter? At least three reasons. Number one, creating a stream of healing makes you into a pipeline and not merely a storage system. And when you are a pipeline and you keep flowing out, then you're going to have more opportunities to experience life. Life is about the flow. Life happens in the flow. So you want to make sure that your life has a flow. You can reach people, people can reach you. So when you create a healing legacy, you create a flow. Life happens in the flow. I'm telling you, the second reason a healing legacy is powerful is it helps you hold on to a sense of personal value. One of the things that brokenness seeks to do to us is to create a sense of helplessness and uselessness. How many of you know what I'm talking about? When you are in the trenches, you sometimes feel helpless and you feel useless. When you create a healing legacy, no matter how low it gets, you are always going to feel like there's value in your life. And that's what volunteering does for you as well. And when you remember there's value in your life, then there's something worth living for. When helplessness and uselessness come together, it creates hopelessness. And that's how people say there's nothing worth living for. That's why distress and depression often leads on to suicide. But the moment that you are able to maintain a sense of hopelessness because you are valuable to someone else, then it keeps you nurtured. It keeps you going, and it keeps you maintaining a measure of the will to live and a measure of the will to overcome your challenges. A third reason that you need the healing legacy is because it helps you maintain your hope. Let me tell you how hope happens. Hope happens whenever we see, no matter how small, a fraction of the reality that we desire happening around us. That's how hope happens. Whenever we see a fraction of the kind of reality we desire happening around us, hope is maintained. What that means is, if through healing legacy, your giving to others causes them to rise again, something within you says that you can rise again. I've personally experienced this. I had a difficult experience maybe about 5 years ago, and I was praying through it and asking God for help. But he said to me, keep doing the work of ministry and keep meeting me. I will sort you out. So I continued to minister, though I was ministering while heavily leaning on God for help. And in those moments of ministry, teaching the word, laying hands, baptizing people in the Holy Ghost, prophesying, deliverance experiences, the moment I saw the testimony of others, I knew that God will come through for me too. And so I will go back home and say, I can see the things you're doing. If God is doing these things and I can see them, it means he's in my neighborhood and he'll do it for me as well. And those are some powerful reasons for creating a healing legacy. So number one, heal yourself through your endeavors. Number two, practice reinvention on purpose. And number three, create a healing legacy. These things will support your rise through the cracks, and you will continue to amass more and more joy in your life. Those would be my thoughts for you. And I would love to read from you about what you find striking, what you are definitely going to do from this session, and maybe even confirmations, things that are working for you and feel so resonant. You're saying, DDK, I do that and I confirm that it really works. I would love to hear from you, but I'll put you back in the hands of our host. And I absolutely thank you for the opportunity to share with you this evening. Thank you so much.